guys, Force Closed here, and how do you like the new intro? Before we get started, I want to give a huge shout out to xzagamerzz. This is the account that I'm working on in this video, and actually he's also the person that did all the edits for this. He created the intro, added the music, compiled all the footage, so thank you for doing all the edits. It really took a huge load off of my work. And on that note, this is the first and probably the only base tweaking or account management video I'll be doing. It's just way too demanding. Anyways, let's get started watching an HBM run. Alright, so there's an easy G win as expected. This is the base for Town Hall 18 that I'm using for H through J, and I actually tried it for H on this account and it didn't quite work out, so I ended up using my knowledge for H and designed this base instead. So let's see how it fares against H. Alright, so that didn't work out too well, and clearly I wasn't going to win, but of course the disconnection really made sure that I wasn't going to win. So they just wanted to rub salt in my wound for that one. Anyways, as I'm designing bases, here's what I like to do. I log onto a Smurf, and I deploy them from the edge of the map, make sure they don't destroy any walls. I drop them from all different angles to make sure that there's no weak spots in the wall, and if they decide to break a wall, then I'll have to go edit it. So this is me trying from different angles, and I also like to remove the edge corner building, because if they aggro on the corner building, there's less distance they have to walk. If they aggro on a middle building, there's more distance, and that makes the walls a little bit more vulnerable to be attacked. And here you can see, since Pumpkin Duke aggroed on that middle tower and he was dropped close to the wall, he wanted to break through it. That could be a problem for raids, but not much of a problem for HBM, and of course I only care about HBM, so this base actually seems to work well. This is a good strategy for base designing. It'll save your HBM chances. Alright, so here, let's see how this will go against H this time. Alright, I wasn't quite expecting that. I noticed a few flaws here. The main issue was the wall being broken on that corner right there. So I need to add that wall segment just to make sure that no heroes will aggro the corner and try to bust through it. I really don't know why they tried to break through the wall there, but this should be a simple fix. And the second major issue I saw is, see that hero base range is just beyond the wall segment. So if I move the wall just one square over, it should keep the heroes out of here, or keep the enemy out of the hero base range, and it won't draw the heroes over the wall. There will be no more wall jumping, basically. And for this hero base level, it should be okay. As you increase hero base level, you might need to tweak this again, but having those heroes jump over the wall can cause some serious issues, and that's why this is one of the musts for this base, is changing this, extend it out a little bit further. Actually, this base isn't the most optimized design. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever tried to design a 5 hero base for Town Hall 18, and especially with these low of heroes. So I didn't do so hot in my first try. I'm pretty sure xzagamerzz has edited this even further, which you'll see later in this video, and has tried to run H again. This account doesn't farm H, it's only beaten H once or twice, so I never expected it to beat H, but I was just trying to give some pointers on how to get close to farming H. And since this video, I'm pretty sure he's beaten H quite a few times, and some of them not too close either. Alright, now I'm going to try some hero expeditions. I don't expect to do so well because this account's such a low level. And look at these garrisons. Only 17,000 might, and these garrisons are just about as tough as up at 40,000 might that I'm used to. I've never done hero expeditions from this low, and I was expecting some kind of easy bases, but man, these are skippable if you don't have very good heroes. With the only global AoE proc hero being Thunder God, you're really limited to how much you can do. I think that's the biggest issue, is not having heroes such as Reaper, Ares, Spirit Mage, or any of the, like Minotaur. Those are very much needed for these kind of bases. Look at these garrisons again. They're not the best base design, but the garrisons will really slowly pick you off. So I didn't really expect much. I was just trying to get a feel for the heroes and pick up a couple extra merit badges. So I'm happy dipping at 50%, get some 2 flames. That's good enough for me. And that's another skip. In this base, no garrisons, so this looks decent. I should be able to get 50% on this. But of course I forgot there's no global AoE heroes, so I'm really going to have to work at the outside buildings to finally get that 50%. So I just dropped those 2 down below and the rest of them up top, so they should finish at close to the same time. And I lost Thunder God, so there's no way I can take out those middle heroes. And I just barely get the 50% with the outside buildings. Lost AC in the process, but I don't really care. So as you can see, Hero Expeditions is pretty tough at this range if you don't have good heroes. No Pumpkin Duke, no Cupid, no global AoE, it's very difficult. Alright, so let's try to get some dungeons. I want to get Dungeon 8 unlocked. Very close to Dungeon 8, so I figure a couple runs should be able to get there. I like to start out with Spirit Mage first, on the side of Spirit Mage, because I can drop magic and protect everyone. Since you don't have very many global AoE heroes, it's not the best idea to start from distance. Only if you've got Reaper, Spirit Mage, Ares, and stuff, then you can start from the other side of the map. But you have to do this brute force method if you don't have those kind of heroes. And here I'm just about to pull off the 50%. That's good enough for me. I only want to unlock the next stage, 2 flames, that'll do. So let's duck out before anyone else dies. And I'm really sorry for doing this. I know you're a free player, and spending gems on revives is so stupid, but I had to do it for the sake of this video. I wanted to get that Dungeon 8 unlocked. Couldn't quite get it, but let's watch this raid. So I start on the Spirit Mage side again, try to use magic to my benefit. And everything seems to be going well. Until Druid. So here you take out Spirit Mage just fine, and then Druid decides to go the complete opposite way of everyone else. I maybe could have done a little bit of a better drop, but this would have been so much easier if Druid had stayed with everybody. Ended up going from a very easy win to a complete disaster. Didn't even get a flame. Anyways, my advice is to rush to Dungeon 8 and see if you can start to farm a dungeon there. I'm sure there's a couple easy ones you can get at least 50% on to get some good shards. And it looks like most of your dungeons you've pre-flamed up till Dungeon 7, so you've done a good job at completing all the dungeons for the most part. Over 300 flames in total, not bad for your account. Alright, here's the more edited base design by xzagamerzz. I said that he did some tweaks because he's had more time with it, and he looks like he threw Town Hall in there, threw in the 5th tower, maybe moved some heroes around. And let's see what you've got for hero wise. Your druid can only handle 5 heals at the moment, and that's a good talent, 1/5 revive. Your thunder god's 5 of 9. I'm impressed because my thunder god's only 5 of 9. I don't suggest taking that any higher. Heavy blow's a decent talent. You need to reroll that berserk immediately. It is absolutely worthless in all levels. You do not need that. 4 of 9 is good enough talent. That's not a bad Snowzilla, just reroll that talent. Even a Scorch would work. This is a good Immortep. 3/5 War God is perfect on Immortep. 4/9 Sandstorm, that's good too. Alright, I'm surprised you took this up to 4 of 9. That's a pretty high skill level on Ninja for being a not so useful hero. 1/5 War God is whatever. I don't really care about Ninja. You're better off focusing on other heroes. And that's a great Atlanticor. For boss tanking, that would be a great hero right there. I wouldn't put any more shards into the skill because there's other more important heroes, but that's a pretty good tank right there. And 1/5 Revitalize, whatever. Champion doesn't really matter to me anymore unless you've got Berserk. Keep that at 2 of 9. You don't need to waste shards on him. That's a pretty good tank also. 3/5 Revite. With boss magic, Revite doesn't really matter anymore for the tank, but that's not a bad tank. And look at this. All of your duplicates have 3 of 9 skill. I'm up at 45,000 might and I only have 2 of 9 skills on all my duplicates. I think you might need to stop worrying about pushing your might until you get more heroes, more legends, because you've got way too many ordinaries and elites to be putting 3/9 skill on your legends. I think at this point, you probably would be better off lowering those and camping out at a low level. I don't know if quest rewards are really that worth it to go a couple might higher, but I feel like you would be benefiting so much more if you dropped 2, 3, 4,000 might, and your raids would be super easy at that point. Hero expeditions would be way easier. Alright, and ever since this video, I heard that you rolled a Cupid, and then later on you rolled a 5 of 5 Revitalize. That is insanely lucky. I can't believe how awesome that is. So this account's coming along pretty nicely. This base has gotten you to farm H a couple times. Not farm, but beat H a couple times. So you're getting your way to farming. And with Cupid, I'm sure you're even closer. Anyways, this is a great little account, and I hope it progresses. It's got great potential. You're on your way. Town Hall 18 is pretty good. Once you get 6 hero bases, it's going to be awesome. Alright guys, I'm out.